All right, so as a Lions content creator, I feel like I have a certain responsibility to bridge the gap between fan and analyst, right? And when I tell y'all stuff, it is it's because I believe in what I'm telling you, right? So I came up with the Lions having a 9-8 record, okay? 9-8 record. And my this is what I said, okay? I said if the Lions go 9-8, then they can make the playoffs. I didn't predict how abysmal the NFC would be this year. But I also said after they lost 5 in a row, I think it was at .3, game 3, I said, I'm not going to pick the Lions to win until they get to 500. And that was just frustration and emotion. And publicly, I have not picked the Lions. I've said to you guys, I think the Lions are going to win this Sunday, but I have not publicly picked the Lions to win. See, thinking they win and picking them to win is two different things, right? Because one commits you to the pick, right? So if you are a betting individual, I'm not, right? You have to put your money down, and when you put that money down, you commit to that, right? Me, my emotion got the best of me. What I should have done is this. I should have stuck with what I said. I said at this point in the season that the Detroit Lions would be 2-6, and they are. They are. I had them losing against Green Bay. I had them winning against Seattle. Well, it went differently. And here, I find this very, very funny to me. And I know that it's content and it's stuff that we talk about, right? But what I find funny is out of a lot of content creators that were around in the spring months, the draft and stuff like that, even when the schedule released, nobody, okay, that I can recall was talking about playoffs, right? And in some spaces, you would get completely annihilated for even mentioning the P word, all right? But I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them content creators. I'm going to stick by what I say. So part of me feels bad because I picked the Lions to win said games, and I should have just stuck with that. Because if I put it out there, I should have stuck with it, win or lose. This is what I picked. Too much wishy-washiness going on with the fan base. But I have seen all of a sudden, because the reality is that we told you guys yesterday, the reality is that the Lions are 2.5 games out of the wild card. That is the reality. And that's all I was saying, is what the reality of the record was, right? But I find it totally kind of, it's ironic that people are mentioning the word playoffs when nobody was saying the word playoffs. Let me tell you this. The Detroit Lions at this moment need a ton of help. Again, our fate is not our own. We need a ton of help. But I tell you what, this is the year that we're going to get it. This is the year that we're going to get it. Lions says, the Lions really can't lose this game grid if we talking possible playoffs. See, Lions, I agree, but I disagree, right? Because the math says they can lose this game. It's worse if they do, but that's what the math says. And I'm only going by the math. When the Lions are officially mathematically eliminated, I stop talking about the math, right? Last year, I made week, whatever it was, the Lions had one win. They were 1-10-1. And they still had a chance to make the playoffs. But we talked about that last week as well. But Lions, that's why I talk about it. I talk about it because the number says yes. The defense might say no. But that was defense weeks 1 through whatever, right? We all can agree that last week's defense, although this is the thing that kind of really what we've been talking about, right? We have been saying since the Minnesota Vikings game, when Dan Campbell gave that game away, that the Lions were one stop away from winning. Now follow me here, all right? And this is why I can't leave the season, because the season is very much alive. We've been saying since the Minnesota Vikings game that the Lions defense was one stop away. and they got that one stop on Sunday. Could you imagine one more stop if they stop Rashard Penny on third down? One more stop. If they stop Kirk Cousins and KJ Osborne. One stop. One stop was the difference between a win and a loss. We can talk about Aaron Rodgers and how they lost the game instead of we beating them. But at the end of the day, we made one better play than them. That is the bottom line. So, bringing that back to the topic at hand. It's funny to me that people are talking about playoffs when I've been talking about it. I'm a live or die by it. I'm only going by the math. And don't let the Lions win on Sunday. Just a win. You understand what I'm saying? Just a win changes the whole trajectory of this season. It's 3 wins and 6 losses. The entire trajectory is changed. The Atlanta Falcons lost last night. They are 4-6. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-5, and they lead the NFC South. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. The Carolina Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons, dropped them to 4-6. Lions beat the Bears. And this all falls on the Lions. They have to do what they're supposed to do. If the Lions beat the Bears, they're 3-6. The Atlanta Falcons, 4-6. If the Arizona Cardinals lose, 3-7. If the LA Rams lose, 3-6. The same record as our Detroit Lions. Motivated says NFC as a conference is pathetic. Motivated, NFC is the East in the NBA. NBA, you could be the bummiest team and make the 8th seed. The 8th seed in the West would be the 11th seed or 12th, would be out of the playoffs. Happens all the time. Nick says, I thought they would be 2-6 at this point. I had them going 8-9, but missing the playoffs. Hey, Nick, if that happens, guess what? I'm gonna say they made the playoffs mentally because I'm going to put that on Dan Campbell. I'm going to put them 2 losses on Dan Campbell. We should be 10-7. If we go 8 whatever we go, right? Whatever we have our final record is to end the season, I'm going to add 2 to that. I'm going to add 2 to that because Dan Campbell lost us 2 games. He admitted that himself. Lions Mania says they won't make the playoffs, highly likely, but they win games that people don't predict them to win. Then maybe possibly we have something. They have to do the unexpected to make the playoffs. Lions, bro, and we'll wrap this segment up. All they have to do is win. The NFC is absolutely pathetic. And they, more importantly, they need to win inside their division. Trust me, bro. If the Lions will make the playoffs at 9-8, there will be most likely a 500 team, under 500 team that makes the playoffs. I'm just saying. So it's funny to me. Like, I've always been like this, y'all. This is not my thing is all out. Just like I picked the Lions schedule based on strength of schedule, right? But look at what's happening out here in the NFL. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So let me know, do you find it ironic that although the Lions are 2-6, do you find it ironic that people are starting to throw out the P word, playoffs?